Can you maybe start out by telling us how do you get there?
Yeah, so if you're driving from Panama City, you'll follow the Pan American Highway from Panama City to a town called Divisa, which is in Coclé province. The Pan American Highway is in excellent condition. It's well marked, smoothly paved. It's on par with any highway in the United States or in Canada. So you arrive at this small town called Divisa. So the Pan American Highway is Highway 1, and so at Divisa you take a left-hand turn onto Highway 2, and Highway 2 runs all the way down the Azuero Peninsula, and that highway as well is in excellent condition, at least until you get to Chitre. Once you get beyond Chitre, I can't really say from personal experience. I haven't driven further south than Chitre, but I do know that the government has projects throughout this year to repair and repave roads throughout the Azuero Peninsula. They're in the process of doing that now. Once you get outside Chitre town and you start driving toward the beaches, the roads can be a little bit rougher. They're still accessible. There's no issues with that, but there are like potholes, there's some gravel, but the government is taking care of that as well. They're working on repaving those roads. So that's going to make those more rural areas significantly more accessible. But if you were to own a car, you would have no issues with accessibility in Chitre.
Great. And I wanted to ask you, so a lot of people have described it as a small town with the amenities of a big city. So like you said, it's got just under 10,000 people. Why would they describe it like that?
So the first thing I noticed when I got to Chitre, the very first thing that stuck out to me was how friendly everyone was. I grew up in a very small town of 1,000 people. So I was really used to people waving and smiling on the streets. And then I moved away to the big city, and that wasn't the reality that I lived with anymore. So in a way, Chitre kind of reminded me of where I lived in my childhood. People wave and they smile on the streets. They stop to talk to each other in the supermarkets. People will go out of their way to help you. When I was there, people that I met, they would invite me to have a coffee or to have breakfast. One couple even invited me out to their finca, to their ranch. And they served me a traditional Panamanian meal, and they let me ride their horses. So it definitely does have that very small town atmosphere, very much what you would encounter in a small town in the U.S. as far as the friendliness factor.
You described the small town vibe very well, but then I think there's a few reasons why it's often described as having big city amenities as well.
Right. So it's considered the hub of the Azuero Peninsula. So it's the center where everyone from the region comes to do their banking, to find a lawyer, to receive healthcare, basically anything. If you were to leave in Chitre, you essentially wouldn't need to leave Chitre for anything. If there were to be something that you don't find there in town, Santiago is another major city just about an hour away, but the Ministry of Business is there. There's English-speaking lawyers there. Any kind of business or legal service you would need, you can find in Chitre. There are world-class bilingual international schools, which makes it a very popular destination for families, and really excellent, outstanding healthcare. It's the best healthcare that you'll find anywhere outside of Panama City, and I would even say that it rivals Panama City. There are options for free healthcare, free, very high-quality healthcare at the public hospitals. And the Hospital San Fernando in Panama City, which is one of the very top private hospitals here, is actually building a second location in Chitre, which is set to open this year. So there's going to be a lot more options for seeing a specialist, receiving truly world-class healthcare. There is the Azuero Regional Hospital has an agreement with Johns Hopkins, and they specialize in heart attacks and healthcare. So this is a really excellent area for anyone who may have cardiac issues. This saves you a long trip to Panama City, and the care there, I've been told, is completely free. And
Wow,
then,
amazing.
yeah, and that hospital is actually, they're building an oncology department in that hospital this year. So as of right now, people who are living with cancer have to make the long trip to Panama City, which is a long time in a car. It's a lot of money spent. It's a multiple day trip. And so Chitre is really it's an excellent, really outstanding place for anyone, for seniors, for families with children, for anyone who might have a health concern. As far as electricity, internet, on par with what you would find in Panama City, very excellent, very high quality. Power outages do happen infrequently during the rainy season, during the thunderstorms most of the time. But the power is usually only down for a few minutes and then it's right back up and running. So maybe just, a small nuisance every once in a while, but it's nothing major.
Okay, I wanted to talk a bit about cost of living because you said something really amazing, which is that this could be the biggest opportunity for you to lower your cost of living in Panama, or the best opportunity, I should say. And I remember you said in your feature that if you lived really a minimalistic lifestyle, you could cut your monthly budget down to $600 a month, which is amazing. So anyway, all this to say, how did you find day-to-day expenses while you were there? Let's say going out for meals. I don't know if you took any taxis while you were there, hotel fees, etc., and just the sort of entertainment things that you did. How did you find the cost of living there?
Yeah, so the $600 a month is definitely possible if you choose to live a very local lifestyle. You can find apartments for rent for $100 to $200 a month. And obviously, to achieve that $600 a month lifestyle, you'd be shopping at local farmers markets, buying produce and seafood from street vendors. So it is you would definitely be living a local, authentic lifestyle, but it is doable. If you wanted to live a more well-appointed lifestyle, you'd probably be spending around $1,000 a month or more. For a couple, probably right around $1,000 a month. The cost to rent a house is typically $300 a month unfurnished, $450 a month unfurnished. So still very much affordable. That $1,000 or so a month budget would afford you more room for entertainment activities, for travel. When I was there, I found that I could get like a pretty typical Panamanian meal. So like a piece of, I don't eat meat, so I do eat fish. So like fish with a side, a salad, and a drink for about $10. There is quite a wide range of international restaurants there. They have everything from Mexican to Italian to Asian to Middle Eastern. I ordered from a Middle Eastern restaurant and I got a salad, a shawarma, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, and a drink for $15, which is a lot less than what you would find in Panama City. You could get a breakfast here for $5 or less, like scrambled eggs, toast, and a coffee. I spent about $5 for breakfasts like that. To be honest, I didn't take any taxis because I have a local contact there, a real estate agent, and so she drove me around to my meetings. So I can't really comment on the taxis, but for a meal out, I would say budget $10 if you're going to a Panamanian place, $15 if you're going to an international type restaurant. And the majority, I'm trying to think of the entertainment activities I did while I was there. Most of the entertainment options there are outdoors. So they're going to be free, so you're just factoring in the cost of gas or maybe an entry fee at a national park. A movie ticket typically costs about $4, give or take.
Okay. I mean, it all sounds really great. Even $15 for more expensive meals is not that bad. It's not bad at all, actually. So, it's just really great to have those insights on cost of living. It does sound like a great opportunity for a lot of people, especially right now in the United States with everything that's going on, with inflation and everything. Anyway, what about things that are not so administrative and more just for fun? What can you do in this town for, let's say, outdoor recreation to start off? Like if you wanted to enjoy the outdoors, you said you love the outdoors yourself. What can you do there?
Chitre is a really excellent place for that. There's definitely more. If you live here, your options for recreation are going to be mostly outdoors. But if you enjoy outdoor recreation, there's basically limitless. There's endless options of things that you can do here. There are 3 national parks that are within a 2-hour drive of downtown Chitre, and these are really excellent places for a full day hiking trip. Also, Panama's only desert is about a 20-minute drive from downtown Chitre. It's called Sarigua National Park, and it's a true red sand desert, very similar to what you'd see in the southwestern United States. There's 2 beaches within just a few minutes drive of Chitre. Those are beaches, Playa Monagre and Playa El Rompillo. Rompillo is significantly less developed than Monagre. Monagre has seafood restaurants, bars, it has a residential community very close, but there's starting to be more development at Rompillo, so pretty soon over the next couple of years, it's going to catch up. Chitre is kind of the gateway to the rest of the Azuero Peninsula. And if you go just about an hour down south to Pedasí and Tonosí, you start to find the best beaches of the Azuero Peninsula. You start finding white sands, turquoise waters. Playa Venao, which is between Pedasí and Tonosí, right at the bottom of the southeast Azuero Peninsula, is one of the best beaches in the country for surfing. Pedasí has Isla Iguana, or Iguana Island, which is a wildlife preserve. It's just off the tip of the mainland. They'll take you in a small boat for just a few dollars, and it's a really great place to go snorkeling. White sand, turquoise waters. A few years ago, the government built a bicycle path from downtown Chitre to the nearest beach, which is Playa El Agallito. And so it runs along the side of the highway, and it's a 2-lane, very smoothly paved, excellent biking path. Really great place for biking, jogging, running with a view of the ocean. Chitre has a 9-hole golf course as well. It's called the Chitre Golf Club. They also have tennis courts. They have a restaurant there. You can play 9 holes for $20, 18 holes for $25. Definitely one of the cheapest places to play golf in Panama at a really excellent facility. You could also go see a baseball game. There's a local stadium that's called Rico Cedeño. If you like to play baseball yourself, we like to say it's like a national religion in Panama. So there's sandlots all over downtown Chitre, and you can find a pickup game any day of the week. And of course, there's festivals throughout the year. At those you'll be able to see traditional parades, traditional dances, eat traditional Panamanian foods, see the pollera, which is Panama's traditional attire. It's a really beautiful dress that's very elaborately decorated. It's considered to be one of the most beautiful national attires in the world. And there's a lot of spectator participation is encouraged at the festival, so they can really be quite an interactive experience.
It sounds like there's a huge array of things to see and do, even if it's mostly outdoor based. It sounds like you'd have to work hard to be bored there.
Definitely.